Good morning, morning. Thank you for logging on my channel today. My name is Sarah and I'm a mortgage loan officer. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you would just like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so when I go ahead and do the next video, you'll get notifications so you can hear more information about all things mortgage. Before I get started, I usually like to say an empowering word or just an encouraging word to know that, yesterday was Sunday, so I pray y'all had a blessed weekend. I pray that you were encouraged by the word that was preached, that was taught, that was said. And I pray that you move forward in all those things that you are called to. Don't let anyone make you feel that you're not able to do what you're called to do. You have all the gifts and talents, you have all the people in your life. Just start walking in it and start looking to see what God brings into your life so you can go ahead and manifest that greatness that God has placed inside of you. Okay, so today I want to talk a little bit about bankruptcy. I'm not an expert in bankruptcy, but just wanted to talk about it concerning mortgages and knowing that if you file bankruptcy, it is possible for you to go ahead and obtain a mortgage. So don't think that it was the end because I filed bankruptcy. They'll never trust me to purchase a home. I'll never be able to buy anything. These things are just not true. So I wanted to share a little information about bankruptcy. Usually it's three, but the two most common ones are Chapter 7, where your debt is just erased. You don't set up a payment plan. The court just erased that debt and you start anew. The next one is Chapter 13. Now that's where you set up a payment plan. And usually, it's just based on your circumstances and what you're trying to do. Usually, we'll talk to someone, a bankruptcy lawyer, to see which bankruptcy is best for you depending on your circumstances. Now, Chapter 13, that means that you're making payments. So you're working on a payment arrangement to go ahead and pay back those debts instead of not paying them back like Chapter 7. So we have two different ways that the lenders kind of look at these things. So with Chapter 7, there's going to be a longer waiting period, especially when you're talking about like Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, which is kind of like conventional loans, or the 30-day loans, 30, not 30 days, 30-year loans. Usually after discharging the Chapter 7, you have to wait at least 4 years before you can go ahead and apply for a mortgage, and most lenders wait that 4 years and then you can apply to see if you can qualify. Now with Chapter 13, being that you're making payments and you're willing to go ahead and pay those creditors back, usually it's a 2-year waiting period of after it's been dismissed, or 4 years after. Let me back up a little bit. Now, if it is discharged, meaning that you made all the payments on time and everything is satisfied, you're completely finished, there'll be 2 years. Now, if it's dismissed, where you started making the payments, but for whatever reason you didn't complete it and it becomes dismissed, then you have to wait 4 years. And if you've had multiple bankruptcies, then it might be going up to 5-year waiting period. Now, it is based on different lenders and what they allow, because they do have the right to make their own credit decisions and how they're going to go ahead and handle these things. So more likely, if you file a Chapter 13, it's a little more lenient than a Chapter 7. Now, with FHA loans, they're even more lenient. And most of the time it is strongly suggested, if possible, to do the Chapter 13 so you can go ahead and make the payments. Now with Chapter 7 and it's discharged or dismissed with FHA, you have to wait 2 years before you can apply and possibly get that loan done through one of the lenders. But if you have filed Chapter 13, it is only 1 year from the discharge date. And sometimes it is possible to be in a Chapter 13 in the payment, and you get permission through the person who's handling the payments. As long as you made 12 monthly payments on time, the courts can allow for you to go ahead and purchase a home through a lending program to purchase a home after 12 months of paying on time payment, even if it's not discharged yet. Okay, but you do have to get permission through the court in order to do that. But if not, you have to wait a year after it has totally been discharged with Chapter 13. Now, if you're trying to apply for a VA loan, usually it's 2 years after it has been discharged, unless there's extenuating circumstances. And we'll talk a little bit more about what extenuating circumstances is. Okay, with USDA loans, now usually those are loans that's rural loans, and usually with the FHA, you have to wait 3 years for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Okay, so let's just say you finish discharge, dismiss, Chapter 7, 2 years, and with 2 years for the VA loans, hopefully you'll be building up your credit score. You'll be, doing those things, making those payments on time. I did do a video on the 5 things that affects your credit score. If you want to look for that YouTube video, so you'll know what you can look to build up your credit score by using those 5 things that they kind of look at. Okay, so with the USDA, as we said, with Chapter 7, it's 3 years after discharge, and with Chapter 13, it's 1 year, and you can also do it with the on-time payments. Okay, but it has to be court ordered. Okay, another one is the non-QM loans. Now, those discharge after your bankruptcy, it can be 1 day after the discharge. But remember, with the non-QM, you're going to have to put down more of a down payment, usually between 10 to 30% as a down payment. And usually with non-QM, you're going to have to pay a higher interest rate. So just be mindful of that. But it could be worth it because like you're paying rent at this time and you want to purchase the home. It'll be a good idea to go ahead and purchase. And then later on, as you meet the criteria, you can always refinance, okay, to get a better interest rate. Okay. And if you have foreclosure, so you got to be mindful with the Chapter 7 and Chapter 13. If you have put in like foreclosures and mortgage or short sales, it's going to be a different criteria because that can last from 4 to 7 years. It's just based on the lender and what type of loan. So you can always reach out to me and I can help you with all these different things. If you have filed the Chapter 7 bankruptcy or the Chapter 13, you can give me a call at 706-421-3478 so I can help walk you through it, to work on a plan for you to go ahead and purchase that home that you've always wanted to have, and then also to build up your income, to help build up your assets, to help create generational wealth. Okay. Now, some of the different things for extenuating circumstances. Now, divorce is not considered an extenuating circumstances. It might be that you had a medical issue or concern that took a lot of your income, so it was hard. It was nothing out of it was out of your control about the medical concern. So that might be an extenuating circumstances. Another extenuating circumstances might be a loss of a loved one who was the main or the primary wage earner, so the income was taken away once that person lost their lives. So different under extenuous circumstances may apply, but what we would do is we would do a manual underwriting, and the underwriter will let us know if with the information that you supply, because you can't just say it, you have to supply different documentation of that extenuated circumstances, and they decide if you're able to use that as an extenuating circumstances to make the waiting period even less. But it's based on each particular person's situation. But we can always give me a call or give me a DM or text me, and I can go ahead and help walk you through that if you're half-file bankruptcy. So it's not over. There is hope. No matter what, nothing is permanent. All things are temporary. So you can purchase a home. Okay, so in the documentation that we would need from the bankruptcy, we would need a notice of discharge papers. Okay, we need the notice from the court, and we need the schedule of creditors that you had paid on this bankruptcy, or with Chapter 7, they put in that those debts were forgiven or they were dismissed and you didn't have to pay them. So those are documentations we need. And remember, for extenuating circumstances, you would have to provide other documentation. But I'm more than able and would love to help you go ahead and get everything in order so you can move forward inside of your home purchase. I hope that helped. I just wanted to talk a little bit about bankruptcy in this video. Hope it wasn't too long. I hope you go ahead and be encouraged that it is possible. Reach out to me. I'm going to put my contact information, email. You can text me, and you can call me. Again, my number is 706-421-3478. And if you have any other questions, go ahead and put the questions under. I would love to go ahead and reach out to you and answer specific questions. Or if you just have some different things that you're interested in learning about, go ahead and put it down below, and I'll go ahead and do a video on it to kind of go over that information. All right, y'all have a blessed day. Thank you. Please subscribe, please share, and please comment and let me know if this information is helpful or if you have anything else that would help you. All right, y'all have a blessed day. God loves you. I love you, but God loves you so much more. Be encouraged, be hopeful, be intentional in what you're doing, and walk into your destiny.